We all know that Gohan is insanely strong, especially in the newest Dragon Ball movie, Dragon Ball Superhero. But what exactly makes him this strong? Well, all Dragon Ball fans know that it has mostly to do with his hybrid potential. Of course, Dragon Ball Z balanced this out by making him not enjoy fighting, so we ended up getting this Gohan for a while. But still, being a Hybrid Saiyan makes you insanely powerful. So, what would have happened if the Saiyans knew of this hybrid potential early on? Well, in simple terms, let's just say this. It would have created some of the strongest beings in the universe. But to be fair, Goku, Vegeta, Broly are still some of the strongest beings in the universe. So how much would have this actually mattered? Well, let's start with the obvious first question. Would the Saiyans be able to beat Frieza? No, most likely not. Frieza's full power was just so far beyond just getting better genetics. Plus, the fact that Saiyans really didn't train would contribute to the fact that their hybrid potential wouldn't really see its full capabilities, at least not fast enough before Frieza realized how fast the Saiyans' power levels were eclipsing his loyal subjects, from Dodoria to even the Ginyu Force. With Frieza eventually being able to pick up on these growing power levels, King Vegeta may even shoot himself in the foot. We have seen how scared he is of great power levels, like the one by the baby Broly of 10,000. So it wouldn't be surprising if King Vegeta tried to limit the lower class breeding with other powerful races by instructing them to only breed with lower class warrior races, or even forcing them to kind of stay within their own race of the Saiyans. Even with that said, Goku, Vegeta, and Broly would still most likely become Hybrid Saiyans, but the real question would be, what race genetically fills in their other half? There are countless alien races all across the universe, but in all transparency, King Vegeta would most likely have a more wide range of options for his future son. But in the case of Bardock and Paragus, that wouldn't necessarily be 100% the case. Even with that being said, Goku's journey in the grand scheme of things wouldn't change as much as you may believe. You could argue that for a Saiyan baby by the name of Kakarot, or in the future to be known as Goku, would have an easier time in this alternate timeline. The training of Son Goku would see fruits that he didn't see in the first place. From Roshi to Korin to Kami, he would see some insane growth, and when entering the hyperbolic time chamber for the very first time on the request of Kami, he would be able to kind of last even longer than normal. Being a hybrid would make the entirety of Dragon Ball very easy for Goku. Going into Dragon Ball Z, he would have no trouble with someone like Raditz, even if Raditz is a Hybrid Saiyan. Like I said before, training is something the Saiyans really don't do. They mostly grow from just battling. But with Goku getting actual training, even if he isn't under 10 times gravity, he would still outclass Raditz, or at least for the most part. Goku wouldn't be the only person to be affected by this change though in this timeline. Gohan would be as well. Arguably, being part Saiyan, part human, and part another alien race hybrid would make a warrior with even greater potential than Goku, kind of running into a similar trend that the normal canon of Dragon Ball would portray. Does that mean Gohan will follow the path of a warrior? No, probably not. But still, a Gohan with even more potential is a pretty scary thought. Vegeta, on the other hand, would make for a very strong warrior in himself, even stronger than before. With his elite status and the fact that his other alien race genetics would likely be akin to another strong race, the battles between Goku and Vegeta would be ones of legend. But there's one thing that will always favor this new breed of Saiyans: time and training. After Goku and Vegeta face off in the Saiyan saga, it could go many ways. Their hybrid sides could lead them to some sort of agreement to take on the Tyrant Frieza. Since they're not full Saiyans, they might be slightly more passive in the way of kind of figuring out things logically, or, which probably is what I would want to see, is I would want to see them fight to near death and probably even get some insane Zenkais. With all that concluded though, everything would kind of head off into the same direction nonetheless. Frieza feared the growth of these new Hybrid Saiyans, and the proof of this fear would be cultivated in one Son Goku. Training all the way to Namek, Goku would be able to eventually defeat Frieza, but genuinely, depending on the way you see the Saiyan story playing out, Vegeta could even get the win if he decides to work with Goku. But that heavily relies on the other half not being similar to the Saiyans themselves, or the other half genetically of Vegeta. The power of hybrid potential makes all of the power boosts, gravity training, and so much more just so fruitful for the Saiyans. With that said, Goku and the Z Fighters would now face off with beings that were built to defeat them based on their own power, but like I said before, time is always on their side. With 3 years of training before the androids, the only true fear would be Cell. That's if he would even be able to absorb Android 17 and 18 in the first place. I think you understand the pattern. Goku's need to overcome each hurdle by training is something that will always benefit him heavily, especially with his hybrid potential, and this would extremely benefit a Gohan heavily in his early years. But since you all should get the point, let's talk about the Saiyans across the universe. And no, I'm not talking about Broly or Tarble. Actually, I'm talking about just Saiyans that don't exist normally in the canon. Being that the Saiyans decided to breed with other races in this timeline, there would be a high likelihood of part Saiyans being scattered all across the universe. I don't think I need to explain to you all why that would be the case. I mean, when the king of a whole race tells his subjects to create hybrids of their own kind, yeah, there's a reason why that would occur. With that all said, due to their extra exploration for possible mates, it wouldn't be surprising that there would be quite a bit of half-breed Saiyans scattered around the universe. Maybe possible warriors that can help with the protection over the universe, or maybe Saiyans that would end up being possible foes for Goku and the Z Fighters to face off with. But still, the Saiyans recognizing and acting upon the breeding for some of the strongest warriors for the sake of Planet Vegeta would end up creating warriors that would rival and surpass the gods. Now, with that said, let me know what you think. I mean, seriously, with the idea of Saiyans knowing of hybrid potential and actually acting upon it early on, it would change quite a little bit in the story, at least in terms of the addition to Goku, Vegeta, and some other Saiyans. I mean, what else would you think would happen? For those who are seeing this and saw part 1 of this potential series that I had going on about a year ago, this is kind of what you're gonna get for a continuation of that series. I'm sorry if that disappoints you, but this is the one-off video that I decided to come up with. And like I said, leave it in the comment section below what you think would have occurred if the Saiyans knew the power of hybrid potential and actually acted upon it. Do you think that they would have been able to defeat Frieza? Or do you think more like me, where Frieza still would have ended the Saiyan race, more or less, to a certain extent? With all that said, I hope that y'all enjoyed. And if you did, leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below, and stay tuned for more Dragon Ball content. Later.